everyone. Thank you very much for joining me again. This is going to be The Lost Steps by Alejo Carpentier. Carpentier! I'm just going to say hello to everyone for a second. Thank you very much for joining me. Dearest old friend, I'm writing to you now in the hopes that this letter will somehow find you by messenger despite the jungle terrain in which you have been chosen to take your sojourn. My hope is that you have managed to find a bit of the peace of mind that you so desperately desire rather than the malaria which so frequently inhabits such places. You often wrote to me of your disillusionment with the shallow formalities of the modern world, and I am now pondering whether to move back to natural ways of life, closer to the rhythms of the earth, which are perhaps better overall. What's done is done. I suppose you have chosen your course. I only wish you had not made quite such a dramatic exit from civilization with all of its modern trappings. Surely you must admit that there are some advantages to be had despite the fast-paced world having its way with modern humans as a whole, forcing artificial structures of environment and customs upon us. I'm curious why you would take such a drastic change of course, forsaking one path entirely for another. It occurs to me that in truth, you did not really have to take up one way of lifestyle and forsake the other entirely. As a whole total being, you must realize that collectively you are more than the sum of your parts, more than mere disjointed fragments of a person, like shards of mirror lying broken upon the pavement that is the ebb and flow of philosophic discourse. Your past is as much a part of you as your present or future, and you must realize that no matter how you may struggle to evade your own background, no matter what far-flung corner of the world you may venture off to, it will follow until you turn and face the hand that life has dealt you. Truly, it is the same for the women you have known and cared for as well. Why must you insist upon taking up with another time and time again? If you truly espouse your existentialist views and desire to be a bohemian revolutionary of thought, you would realize the essence each woman brings to you in her own right. I see no reason why you would have to choose one lady over another, as I can see no reason why you should choose one exclusive locale or way of life over another. Often you have spoken to me of the magic or lack thereof in the tapestry of life that is woven of the fibers that are daily events. You have expressed your disillusionment with the constant entropy and sparse settings that seem to have plagued your very existence and tormented your very soul regularly. I say to you that it is within your own power to change your perceptions, and until you do so, you will continue to be met with disappointment with regards to your experience of reality. Oh, yes. There is indeed much good magic on this plane of existence to be shared by mankind, for we are made in some superior being's own image and are capable of great triumphs in reason and achievement. Sometimes you tend to forget this in favor of seeing only the most nearsighted appraisal of the severity and tragedy which is readily apparent in human behavior. This is a response to a fictional story here, as written by a letter, in a letter form. Please know that my respect for you is boundless as a fellow artist, and yes, my professional mentor as well. That is why I write to you now to ask that you at least reconsider your isolation from those who care for you in this world. It is so hard for me as a longtime confidant to now be forced to the outskirts of your life, where I can only watch from the sidelines and cringe at the impending damage you do yourself through reckless self-destructive behavior. There was a time in your life, years ago, when you felt at the very top of your field and pitied those who could not maneuver through the rough seas of life with all its trappings. I cannot imagine that your adventure into the wilderness has provided you with the sense of achievement and emotional solace that you were so desperately seeking when we last met. Should this letter reach you, I bade you to come back to this place, and we will take up a grand expedition to a more civilized locale. I have a business in Spain, and afterwards we can take a train to Budapest. Budapest. There are dancers. I know there are those who would be delighted to meet you, as they are great admirers of your work, and painters that live in the hills, secluded places where we can indulge ourselves in hot springs baths and bask in hospitality. Truly, old friend, you have been away from us for far too long, and forgotten the old magic we shared together. Love always, Alberto. We're just rolling with the letter to Alejo Carpentier here. So that was the assignment, and this was our letter. And thank you so much for joining me, and we will continue onward with our creative writing readings, and maybe we'll get to some factual autobiographical type creative writing as well. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on the next podcast for Mystic Ashram signing off. Take care.